Good morning. Happy Monday. All right, so this is going to be a little bit different than what we are used to for e-learning. Okay, my friends. So the first thing I'm going to need you to do for our math lesson today is you're going to need to get your shiny math book. Okay, so the one that has the red number 3. I want you to get that book out, and we are on page 124. Okay, so remember, during this video, if you need to pause it, or if you need to replay it or rewind, you can do that. Okay, so I'm not gonna give you a lot of time, but if you need to pause it or rewind it or watch it over and over again to help you understand, we're gonna do most of these problems together, and then some of them you're going to try on your own. Okay, so because I can't write on my computer screen, okay, so I have my computer. It's going to be a little bit different because if we were at school, I would be writing on the board, but I can't write on my computer screen. So I am going to be writing some of the answers here on my little whiteboard, but I want you guys to be writing the answers inside your book. Okay, so you're doing this with me. When we get back to school, I'm going to have you guys give me your books and I'm going to check these answers. Okay, so you definitely need to be following along. All right, so today we are starting a brand new lesson. We are on lesson number 13, and we're learning about how to add 3-digit numbers. Okay, so we are going to start off with this problem. I'm going to read it out loud. I want you to follow along, okay? So there are 214 fish in the giant tank at an aquarium. There are 131 other sea animals in the tank. How many animals live in the tank? Okay, so we know there are 214 fish, plus there are 131 other sea animals in the tank. Okay, so we want to know how many we have all together. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do, we've looked at this before, these are called tables, right? It's like a chart. Helps us understand what the numbers mean so we know what to do with them. So I have 2 numbers in my word problem. I have, scroll up a little bit. I have 214, so there's that number right there in my table. And I have 131. It's right there in my table. So the first thing I'm going to do is say to myself, Miss Prindiville, or students watching, how many hundreds do I have in 214? Very good. I have 200. So in your book, you are going to write 2 hundreds. Okay, so just the number 2. I'm not writing 200. This isn't expanded form. Okay, and then how many tens do I have in 214? Very good. I have 1 10. And how many ones do I have in 214? Yes, I have 4 ones. So on your table, you have 2 hundreds, 1 10, and 4 ones. Remember, I'm writing it on my whiteboard. You're writing it in your book. So yours is going to look like this. Okay? The next number I have is 131. How many hundreds do I have in 131? Very good. I have 100. How many tens do I have in 131? Very good. I have 3 tens. 31, that's 3 tens. And then easy peasy lemon squeezy, I have 1 1 in my ones place. So I'm going to put it right here. Okay, so the next thing you see in your book, where it says letter B, it says, what is the total? Okay, that's a very important word. Total means I'm going to be adding my hundreds and my tens and my ones. Okay, so I'm going to add what's in the chart. So first things first, it shows me blank hundreds. How many hundreds do I have all together in my chart? Okay, so if I look at my chart, I see I have 2 hundreds and I have 100. So 2 hundreds plus 100 equals 3 hundreds. Okay, I'm just going to write the letter H because I don't have a lot of room on my whiteboard. But on your book, you're going to be putting the number 3 right there in that blank. Okay? Next, I'm going to look at my tens place. So how many total number of tens are in my chart? All right? So if I look at my tens place, I have 1 10 plus 3 tens. That's going to be 4 tens. Awesome. Last is my ones place. Oops, I forgot to write my T for tens. Can't forget that. All right, so last is my ones place. I have 4 ones plus 5 ones. 4 ones plus 1 1 is 5 ones. My brain and my mouth didn't communicate very well, okay? So I have all together from my chart 3 hundreds, 4 tens, and 5 ones, all right? So let's look back at our page. What is the value? Okay, so here we go. This is going to be like expanded form. Remember, value means how much is it worth? Okay, so I'm going to take the numbers up here and tell you how much they are worth all together. So now it's going to look like expanded form. So in your book, where you have the plus signs, I'm going to write it on my whiteboard. You write it in your book. Okay, so if I have 3 hundreds, how much is the value? The value is 300. So you're going to write 300 in this first box right here. Okay, this is expanded form. Plus 4 tens. How much is 4 tens worth? Very good. It's 40. 4 tens. Oops, bumped my phone. Okay, last place, I have my ones. I have 5 ones. Well, that's pretty easy. 5 ones is just 5. So now I have it in expanded form. 300 plus 40 plus 5. So you're going to write that right there on that bottom part. All right, the last part says how many animals live in the giant tank. So this is going to be our answer. So we have broken apart all of these numbers to understand what they mean. And now we're going to figure out all together how many animals. So 300 plus 40 plus 5, that's an expanded form. If I put all of those numbers back together, that's called standard form. And that number is going to be 345. Okay, that's my answer, 345. So you're going to be writing that right there in that blank. All right, so we did this page together. All right, right now we are going to be done in our shiny math book. Okay, and I would like for you to get your other math book, the one that's not shiny. Remember, it does not have the red number 3 on it. Okay, so I'll give you just a second to get the other one out. On your other math book, we are going to be on page 139. Okay, so remember, if you need to pause the video, you can pause the video. All right, so we are going to be learning a couple of different strategies. First thing we did today was we looked at what our numbers are worth. Okay, so their value. We did some review on understanding the different place values, so our hundreds and our tens and our ones. Next thing we're going to do, this printable doesn't have a whiteboard eraser, so I'm going to use my sleeve. If we were at school, I would have my eraser, but that's okay. All right. So remember, you're writing this in your book. I don't have a book, and I can't write it on my computer, so I'm writing it on my whiteboard. Okay, so this right here is going to be like I'm bubbling. Okay, friends? So we know how to do that. That's pretty easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And these problems right here are going to be review for us because if you look, I don't have 3 digits, do I? I only have 2 digits, and we already know how to do that. So this is going to be a lot easier than the one we just did together, okay? So in this problem, it says there are 48 red grapes and 24 green grapes in a salad. If we're going to break that into the tens and the ones, okay, I'm going to come over here on my whiteboard and I'm going to write that over here. So 48 how many tens plus how many ones? 48, so 40 plus 8. That's the same thing as if I were bubbling. Oops. 48. Okay. Oops. 40 and 8. It's going to take Miss Printable a little while to learn how to record myself well and still be able to see what I'm writing. Okay, guys? So sorry if I'm not very smooth. Okay. The next number is 24. So in your book, we're writing 20 in the blank plus 4. Okay, so it's the same thing as if, that wasn't very neat, we were bubbling. 20 and 4. Okay, so let's look back at our book and see what they want us to do. All right, they're saying add the tens, then add the ones. Okay, and really quickly, my friends, I want to tell you that if this seems really confusing to you, okay, we're doing this together, so I do want you writing it in these blanks, but if you're confused, I want you to bubble it like I did in this empty space right here in your book, okay? Because this is a little bit different than what we have done together in class, all right? So if you want to bubble it in this empty space, that would be a really good idea to help you understand. So it says first, add the tens, then add the ones. All right. So if I look back over here, add the tens. That's what it says in your book. It says blank plus blank equals 60. So I'm going to put my tens right there. How many tens do I have in 48? I have 40. And then I have 20 and 24. Ooh, lucky me. They already gave me the answer in my book. I already know 20 and 40 equals 60. So I know I have the right ones. Next thing, I'm going to add my ones. And oh, look, wasn't that nice of them? They already told us that it's going to equal 12. So if I check my numbers, I'm going to be able to check my answer. Okay. So my ones, 8 and 4. And do those equal 12? They sure do, so I know that I'm on the right track. All right, 8 plus 4 equals 12. We're going to skip number 3. We're not going to answer that part, but we're going to go ahead and talk about if we were bubbling it. So I'm going to erase this bottom part. Give me 1 second with my sleeve. Okay, so let's look at it if we were bubbling. It'd be the same thing as the answers in your book that we just did together. So 40 plus 20 is 60. 8 plus 4, oops, really hard to record myself writing, is 12. Now on the last part, we didn't find our final answer, okay? So right now we're gonna do that. I have 60 and I have 12, which if I need to, I can bubble that again into 10. Ooh, I'm getting really small. And 2. I ran out of space on my board. Okay, 60 plus 10. I'm counting by tens. 60, 10 more is 70. Okay, plus 2. My answer is 72. All right, so I want you to write 72 somewhere out here in this white space and circle it for me so that I know you have the right answer. Okay, friends? All right, that was page 139. If you turn the page to 140, you're going to do the exact same thing that we just did together. All right, give me a second, please. I'm gonna clear my board. You're writing your answers in your book. I'm writing mine on my board. Okay, So let's see. We've got one word problem, 2 and 3. Okay, well, these two are together. All right. So I'm going to do this one more with you. And then I want you guys to do these 2 parts on your own. Okay, my friends? And then that's going to be the end of our math lesson for today. All right? So on this next one, it's going to be the same thing that we just did. It says Luke played piano for 58 minutes yesterday. He played piano for 27 minutes today. Write the tens and the ones. So in 58, how many tens plus how many ones? Well, 58, it's the same thing as if I were bubbling. I have 50 plus 8, 27. This is what you're writing in your book, remember. How many tens plus how many ones? How many tens are in 27? 20. How many ones are in 27? I have 7. All right. Now from here, they didn't give you the middle step like they did up here. All right. Up here, they had you add the tens plus the ones. And we've not really practiced it that way. You've got all of this empty space right here in our book that we can use to figure out how many total minutes altogether. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bubble it right here because we have practiced that so much. All right. In this empty space right here, we're going to write our bubbling, or you are going to write your bubbling. Capiche, friends? Okay. So 58 plus 27 Okay, 58, 27. We're going to add our tens first. 50 plus 20, 5 tens plus 2 more tens, we know is 70. 8 ones plus 7 ones, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's going to be 15. Most of my friends know that in their heads, but if you need to count with your fingers, that's okay too. Right? Which I know 15 is 10 plus 5. 70 plus 10 more is 80. Plus 5, 80 plus 5. My answer is 85. All right, so my answer, I need to check my book. Oh, they did. They gave me a space to put my final answer. It says how many total, that's going to be my answer, total minutes did Luke play the piano? Well, he played 85 minutes. So that's going to go right there in that blank. You're going to bubble out here in your white space. Write your answer right here, please. Okay, so we did that one together. This one down here, I'm going to read it for you, but I want you to use the white space in your book to figure out the answer, okay? Now, this one has 2 parts. It's a little bit different, so you need to pay very close attention, okay? It says Miss Patel has 29 blue pens, 17 red pens, and 35 red crayons. Okay, so I have 2 different red things. Here I have red pens. Here I have red crayons, and that's going to be important. Number 6 says how many red pens and red crayons does Miss Patel have? Okay, so for number 6, I'm going to write on my whiteboard. I'm going to give you a little bit of a head start, okay? On number 6, I'm adding my red pens, which if I look right here, it says I have 17, okay? 17. And red crayons. So for number 6, I'm adding 17 plus 35. I want you to bubble that and find the answer. And your answer is going to go right here. Okay? You can do it. We have done it lots and lots and lots together in class. Okay? Right now we're just practicing our 2-digit adding. On number 7, it's still the same word problem, but they're having you add different numbers. So first time we added the red pens and the red crayons. Now we're going to add the blue pens and the red pens. So if I look right here, here's my blue pens, 29. Okay, 29 plus my red pens. Red pens was 17. Okay, so you're also going to need to bubble 29 plus 17, and your answer is going to go right here. Okay, if you don't have enough space right here in your book for all of the bubbling that we have done together and the part that you're doing by yourself, there is a blank white piece of paper in your e-learning packet that you can use to help you with your bubbling. Okay, if this is easy peasy lemon squeezy, because this is review, I would like for you to do one more practice problem on your white piece of paper. This one you do not have to do, but if you're one of my friends who would like a little bit of an extra challenge, then we're gonna do this one extra one that you can write on your white piece of paper, and we'll do this together, okay? So this is a bonus. This one is a 3-digit, okay? So we are going to bubble this the same way that we bubble 2-digit addition. Just gonna have one extra bubble, because usually when I bubble my 10s and my 1s, but this number has 100s, 10s, and 1s. So here, my first bubble, I have 100 plus 20 plus 3. So I have 3 bubbles. And my other number, I'll start with my hundreds, then my 10s, then my 1s. How many hundreds do I have in 200? I have 200, easy peasy. Then I have 110, just 10. And then I have 3. Okay, so it's gonna be really important that you guys write your neatest handwriting, because you're gonna need to have as much space as you can. First, I'm gonna add my hundreds together. 100 plus 200, so 1 plus 2 is 300s. Then I'm gonna add my 10s. 2 10s plus 1 10, 20 plus 10 more is 30. And last but not least, we have our 1s. 3 plus 3, well, that's gonna be 6. All right, so 300 plus 30 plus 6, my final answer. Oops. That is 336. Okay. All right. You guys get these 2 problems finished. Make sure that you have followed along in your book with me. If you need to pause the video or go backwards or rewatch it, you can always do that. All right. Have a good Monday. I'll see you tomorrow.